Chapter 5 Education 1. Education. There is a gulf of difference between the Eastern culture of the Hindu sages and rishis and the method of culture of the Western culturists. The fundamental difference is that in the West, people train their will and memory for attaining material progress and worldly prosperity only. They have ignored totally the life beyond. This is their serious blunder. But the yogis of India develop their will and memory for spiritual ends. Their goal is always self realization. Therefore, the Western occultists should not neglect the spiritual culture and should not forget the spiritual basis of all other cultures. One can have material prosperity to a certain extent. He should also develop the spiritual side. There should be spiritual basis for all cultures and undertakings. This is important. Our college students have become creatures of vile imitation. They have imitated the West in smoking, putting on pants, hats, boots, neckties, collars, cropping of hairs, etc. But they have not imbibed the various other virtuous qualities such as self sacrifice, patriotism, spirit of service, punctuality, perseverance, tolerance, erudition, etc., that are admirable characteristic features in the Westerners. The condition of some of the boys belonging to the so called aristocratic families is highly lamentable and hopeless. They buy monthly season tickets for the cinema and spend their time in playing cards, leading an unholy life even when they are young. They dislike religious minded students. They are slaves of the modern fashion and style. Taking a degree in the university is not real culture or true education. Anyone can cram some books and get a degree. What is wanted is moral culture, knowledge of the self, regeneration of lower nature, good behavior, refined manners, discipline of the indriyas, control of the mind, and the cultivation of sublime divine virtues. This rare discipline cannot be had in the present day universities. A drastic change in the curriculum of the universities is needed. Books that are best calculated to give moral culture should be introduced. Students should have proper ethical training. Then only a university can turn out students of proper education and culture. Students are molded according to the education they receive. It should be a practical nature according to the needs of the land. Stuffing the mind with a number of subjects which are of no immediate practical use is no education at all. Students simply cram the subjects before they appear for the examination and forget everything after the examination is over. They are of no use to them in their daily practical life. Some asanas, breathing exercises, chanting of prayers, and religious moral stories should be taught to the students. The religious aspect of life should in no case be neglected. Religion includes ethics, morality, and culture also. Religious culture bestows perfection in any walk of life. The child is the future citizen of a country. He is the wealth of the state. He is a valuable asset to the nation and the country. He must be allowed to express his latent or dormant faculties through proper education and culture. If he is endowed with sterling qualities of head and heart, he will shine as a luminary in this world. 2. Modern life. The scientists have explored the physical world. They have found out methods to control the physical forces of nature. But can scientific inventions make us really happy? What has science done to us? No doubt it has added a fund of knowledge on the physical plane. Are you really happy now? Can an electric pankha or an aeroplane or a radio or talkie give us the real peace which the mind is thirsting for? Thanks to science and the scientists who work wholeheartedly for years together in closed rooms for inventions and discoveries, they are giving comforts. Electricity does all the work. It pumps water. It takes us to London and Paris. Science has made our travel and communication easy and quick. There are some disadvantages also, but the disadvantages outweigh the advantages. It has made living very costly and luxurious. Man is more restless now. A luxury of today becomes a necessity tomorrow. Every man and woman wants a radio, a torch, a wristwatch, a motor car, a home cinema. The standard of living has become very high. Clerks and officers do not hesitate to tell lies and take bribes to make both ends meet. All are under debts. The cinema and fashion are devouring all their earnings. People have lost their sense of proportion and walk self deluded in this sense universe. Sense gratification has become the goal of life. Even the so called educated people, degree holders, are not exceptions. They are the most ignorant people. Intelligent people devise intelligent methods to take bribes and earn money by various dishonest means. There is corruption everywhere. Honesty and candidness have taken to their heels. Double dealing, crookedness, cheating, and chicanery have taken possession of all. All are products of luxurious living consequent upon scientific inventions and Western civilization. It has brought restlessness everywhere. Physical degeneration has set in. A man cannot walk even for a furlong now. He wants a conveyance. A doctor or pleader, even if he is starving, must maintain a car. Otherwise, he cannot get his patients or clients. His wife wants silk saris and makeup. Seats have to be reserved for picture houses. Where to go for money? He has to tap the poor people. The doctor fills up a bottle with water and colored tinctures and charges heavily. He extorts money by charging heavily for injections and visits. He has to do it. Mercy, sympathy, and honesty have fled away from his heart. The doctor will say, "What is to be done, sir? The days are hard. Living has become very costly. Education of children is costly. I know I am in the wrong path. I have to do it. I have to tell lies and earn money by dishonest means." In days of yore, people were washing their own clothes. They could walk several miles daily. They were strong and sinewy. They were living a simple life. Even now, look at the Gurkha and Maharashtra laborers. They live on ordinary bread, salt, and 2 chilies. Look at the tremendous work turned out by them. Look at their health and marvelous strength. Now everyone wants Ovaltine, vitamin extracts, Allenbury rusk, and oatmeal. The wife wants a separate servant and a cook. You want a servant to put on your shoes. Now then, is there any remedy for improving the present deplorable state of affairs? We will have to go back to natural living. We will have to take to simple living and high thinking of our forefathers. Lead a simple, natural life. Wear simple clothing. Walk daily. Give up cinemas and novel reading. Lead a hard, laborious life. Be self reliant. Reduce your wants. Be honest in your dealings. Control the indriyas and the mind. Develop noble qualities. Speak the truth and act righteously. 3. Marriage. Marriage is not a mere contract but a sacrament or solemn obligation between the bride and bridegroom by which they lead a virtuous life and attain the goal of existence. The object of marriage is to attain the 4 purusharthas, which are dharma, virtue, artha, wealth, kama, desired objects, and moksha, liberation. In India, the parents choose the girls for their sons. They thoroughly investigate into the genealogy of the family, and after careful scrutiny, they select a girl. There is no love making or wooing. If the girls or boys are allowed to choose their own husbands or wives, there are many disadvantages. They have no power of judgment or discrimination or experience. If a man has copulation occasionally for the sake of progeny only, he can bring forth healthy, intelligent, strong, beautiful, and self sacrificing children. He will have to train his wife in religious practices, study of scriptures, concentration, meditation, and in developing virtues. That house is really a heaven where the husband and wife lead an ideal life. The husband should teach his wife and children moral lessons for leading a simple, pious life instead of teaching fashion and style. Parents should lead an ideal life. Then alone their children can copy them. If they have wrong and evil habits, their children also will imitate them. Children have got the power of imitation. Householders should watch the ways and habits of their children and take care not to allow them to join evil company. Parents have got a very responsible duty of training their children. If they do not want to take up this responsibility of training their children in the right way, they ought to have checked their passion and should have stopped procreation. If the children speak lies, they should be punished. They should not be allowed to smoke, to go to cinemas, or to read trashes. Early marriages form a menace to society. The whole of India is filled with young widows. Young boys who have no idea of this world and life are married when they are 14 or 16 years of age. We see children begetting children. A boy of 18 or 19 has 3 children. What a horrible state of affairs! There is physical and mental degeneration. There is no longevity. All are short lived. Frequent childbearing destroys health and brings a host of ailments. A clerk getting rupees 50 per month has 6 children at the age of 30. Every 2 years there is a new crop. He never thinks, how will I be able to maintain such a big family? How will I be able to educate my sons and daughters? How will I be able to arrange for the marriage of my daughters? At the heat of sexual excitement, he repeats the same ignoble act again and again. He has not a bit of self control. He is an absolute slave of passion. Like rabbits and pigs, he procreates and brings forth innumerable children to swell up the ranks of beggars in the world. Even animals have got self control. It is only man with his boasted intellect that breaks the rules of health and has become a criminal in this direction. When a man has to maintain a big family with a poor salary, he is forced to take bribes and to earn money by unlawful means. He loses his sense and power of understanding and is prepared to do any kind of mean act to collect money. The idea of God is forgotten. He is swayed by passion. He becomes a slave of his wife. He bears with a shrug of his shoulder her taunts and scoldings when he is unable to meet her demands. You have adopted various habits from the West in matters relating to dress and fashion. You have become a creature of vile imitation. They in the West do not marry unless they are able to maintain a family decently. They have got more self restraint. They first secure a decent status in life, earn money, save something, and then only think of marriage. They do not want to bring forth beggars into this world. 4. Passion. In a broad sense, passion means any strong desire. When any sensual act is repeated very often, the desire becomes very keen and strong. There is passion in patriots for service of the country. There is passion in first-class spiritual aspirants for religious books. But generally, in common parlance, passion means lust or strong sexual appetite. There is a physical craving for sexual or carnal gratification. The sexual instinct or the reproductive instinct in man involuntarily prompts him for sexual acts. Passion is in a seed state in young boys and girls. It does not give them any trouble. In old men and women, passion gets suppressed. It cannot do any havoc. It is only in young men and women who have reached adolescence that this passion becomes troublesome. They become helpless. Rajasic food such as meat, fish, Rajasic dress, Rajasic way of living, scents, novel reading, cinemas, talk on sexual things, bad company, liquors, intoxicants of all description, tobacco, etc., excite passion. Eminent doctors in the West are of the opinion that various kinds of diseases arise from the loss of semen, particularly in young age. Boils in the body, sunken eyes, pale face, loss of blood, loss of memory, eye defects, discharge of semen along with urine, enlargement of testes, pain in the testes, debility, drowsiness, laziness, gloominess, palpitation of heart, difficulty in breathing, fickle-mindedness, bad dreams, wet dreams, etc. are all due to loss of semen. The average life of an Indian has come down to 65 years as against 75 years of a Westerner. Every well-wisher of our motherland must think over this most disgraceful and disastrous state of affairs very carefully and apply remedies in time by reintroducing the life of celibacy in students and householders. The duty of parents and guardians, teachers and professors is to train the students in brahmacharya. Training of youths means nation building. 5. Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is the vow of celibacy in thought, word, and deed. It means control of not only the reproductive indriyas but also control of all senses. Practice of brahmacharya gives good health, inner peace, strength, peace of mind, and long life. It augments strength, vigor, and vitality. It gives power to face the difficulties in the daily battle of life. It is the life force. Brahmacharya is the basis for attaining immortality. It brings material progress and psychic advancement. It gives tremendous energy, gigantic willpower, bold understanding, and retentive memory. What is the state of your mind when you attend a ball or dance party or when you read the mysteries of the Court of London? What is the state of your mind when you visit sacred places or temples or when you study soul elevating scriptures of your religion? Compare and contrast your mental states. There is nothing so utterly ruinous to the soul as evil company. One should not even think of stories of women, the luxurious ways of rich persons, rich foods, silken clothing, flowers, scents, etc., because the mind gets easily excited. The mind will try to imitate the ways of rich, luxurious persons. Desires will crop up. Obscene pictures, vulgar words, and novels which deal with love stories excite passion and produce ignoble, mean, undesirable sentiments in the heart. Whereas the sight of the picture of the Lord and hearing of the scriptures induce noble sentiments, holy thrill in the heart, and produce tears of joy and prem, and elevate the mind instantaneously. Lead a well regulated life. Moral strength is the backbone of spiritual progress. Ethical culture is of paramount importance. Have perfect control of all the senses. Give up meat, drink, scents, liquors, contact with females, all acts of violence, gambling, gossips, telling lies, looking at females, hitting at each other, and sleeping together with others. The student should never, not even in dreams, let go his virya, semen. The college students of the present day do not possess self control. Luxurious living and self indulgence begin from their very boyhood. Arrogance, impertinence, and disobedience are deep rooted in them. Fashionable dress, undesirable food, bad company, frequent attendance at theaters and cinemas have rendered them weak and passionate. Modern civilization has enfeebled our boys and girls. They lead an artificial life. The cinemas have become a curse. In cinemas nowadays, vulgar scenes and immoral plays are enacted even when the films depicting stories from the Mahabharata and the Ramayana are shown. Brahmacharya can be maintained by leading a virtuous life. Take sattvic food, avoid evil company, practice daily a few asanas and pranayamas and regular exercises. Keep the mind ever busy in doing something useful. A man who maintains brahmacharya can turn out immense mental, physical, and intellectual work. He will be always successful in all his undertakings. 6. Religion and Vedanta. Religion is faith for knowing and worshipping God. It is not a matter for discussion on a club table. It is the perception of the true self. It is the fulfillment of the deepest craving in man. Religion is above ceremonials and ritualism. Religion must educate and develop the whole man, his head, heart, and mind. Then only there will be perfection. One sided development is not commendable. A clear understanding of man's relation to God is a matter of momentous importance for all. Philosophers, prophets, saints, sages, thinkers, acharyas, and great religious leaders of the world have tried to explain the relation of man to God and the universe. Various schools of philosophy and different kinds of religious beliefs have come into existence on account of various explanations given by different philosophers. Vedanta embraces all religions. It holds that salvation is within the reach of all. Everyone is on the road to salvation. Even the atheists, rank materialists, and charvakas who decline to admit the existence of God are not lost. For they are on a far higher step in the ladder of self realization and human evolution than those who do not at all exercise their mental faculties and are not aware of any moral or religious issue. Vedanta teaches you to feel the oneness with all. It seeks to convert none to any particular creed. It only asks everyone to be true to himself and to be untiring in the pursuit of truth from whatever position one may occupy in the path of human evolution. Vedanta is that bold philosophy which teaches unity of life or oneness of consciousness. It proclaims that the individual soul is identical with the Supreme Self. It is the only philosophy that can really unite on the basis of the one common self in all. A Hindu and a Mohammedan, a Catholic and Protestant, an Irishman and an Englishman, a Jain and a Parsi, on a common platform and in the core of their hearts also. It is the only philosophy that, when properly understood and practiced, can put an end to all sorts of dissensions, splits, and skirmishes that exist in different nations and communities. The divine life that throbs in every atom of the universe dwells also in the hearts of all human beings. The soul of an ant is the soul of a man. The soul of a sinner is the soul of a saint. The soul of a beggar is the soul of a mighty king. The soul of a Hindu is the soul of a Mohammedan. The ultimate truth in nature is the ultimate reality in man. To realize the soul through direct intuitive perception is the goal of your life. Feel your oneness with all. Feel your oneness with the sun, the sky, the wind, flower, tree, birds, animals, stone, rivers, ocean, etc. Realize the oneness of life, unity of consciousness. Behold the one homogeneous self everywhere, in all beings, in all animals, and in all plants. 7. Peace. Peace is the living reality. Peace is not merely the absence of noise, tumult, strife, or quarrels, controversies, or disputes. It is not a condition of environment from which all undesirable elements are removed. You may be in adverse circumstances. You may remain in the midst of calamities, troubles, tribulations, difficulties, and sorrows, and yet you may enjoy the inward harmony and peace if you rest in God by withdrawing the senses, by stilling the mind, and eradicating its impurities. Tide over all difficulties by silencing the bubbling thoughts, eradicating all desires, cravings, and sense hankerings. Remove the dark forces of hatred, jealousy, disharmony, rupture, and destruction. Anger, greed, jealousy, and hatred are all enemies of peace. Develop goodwill, cooperation, mercy, compassion, non resistance or non retaliation to injuries done to you, forgiveness, contentment, nobility, and cosmic love. If you annihilate selfishness and egoism, you will be free from anxieties, cares, and worries. Rich people possess immense wealth. They have all sorts of comforts, good circumstances, and easygoing life. They have decent motor cars, beautiful bungalows, liveried servants, etc. They take dainties and palatable dishes and go to hill stations during summer, and yet they have no peace of mind and inner harmony. What is the highest end of man? All are agreed that the one aim is to attain the highest peace. Peace is absolute serenity and tranquility, wherein all the mental modifications, thoughts, imaginations, whims, fancies, moods, impulses, and emotions, instincts, etc. cease. It is not the temporary condition of mental quietude, which worldly people speak of in common parlance when they retire to a bungalow after a long journey. All the selfish desires must die. All the senses should be brought under perfect control, and the mind should be stilled. 8. Selfless service. Selfless service unto humanity through medium of social and charitable institutions, feeding the poor, clothing the poor, sympathizing with the needy, attendance on the sick, consoling the depressed, helping the fallen, imparting knowledge to the ignorant, without expectation of return, feeling that you are an instrument in the hands of God, come under the category of Nishkama Karma Yoga, the easiest means for Chitta Shuddhi, purification of heart. Service of humanity is the service of the Lord. If you cannot love and serve these manifestations of the Lord or visible gods, how will you be able to find God elsewhere in the world? People who manifest definite, deep, and active sympathy towards sufferers are very rare. The world abounds with people who show some kind of lip sympathy. The man of active and definite sympathy at once shares what he has with the afflicted person. He has a soft heart. His heart melts the moment he sees a man in actual distress. He actually feels himself the pangs of the distressed persons. He who shows lip sympathy is a confirmed hypocrite. Kindle the light of love in your heart. Love all. Cultivate all-embracing, all-inclusive, cosmic love. Charge every action with pure love. Kill cunningness, greed, and selfishness. Hatred, anger, and jealousy are removed by continuous service with a loving heart. You will get more strength, joy, and satisfaction by doing kind acts. You will be loved by all. Practice of compassion, charitable acts, and selfless service will purify and soften the heart. Service to the country, service to society, and service to parents and Mahatmas are all Nishkama Karma Yoga. Serve any society, religious and charitable institutions, and dispensaries for 2 hours daily in any way you like. Feel that the whole world is a manifestation of the Lord. Be ever ready to serve others. Take delight in service. Watch for opportunities. Create a field for good service. Do not expect anything in return for your services. Practice of Karma Yoga does not demand that you should possess enormous wealth. You can serve with your mind and body if you do not have money to spend. If you find a poor sick man lying on the roadside, give him some water or milk to drink. Cheer him up with encouraging words. Put him in a tonga and take him to the nearest hospital. God is more pleased with such sort of service for the poor and helpless people than with the service done by rich people with pomp and vanity. If anyone is suffering from acute pain in any part of the body, at once shampoo the affected part very gently. If you see a man or an animal with severe bleeding on the road, do not run hither and thither to get a small piece of cloth for bandaging. At once tear out a piece from your cloth or dhoti or shirt, however costly it may be, and use it for bandaging. This is real Karma Yoga. This is a test to gauge your heart. How many of you have done such noble service? Whenever your neighbor or any poor man suffers from any disease, get medicine for him from the hospital. Nurse him carefully. Wash his clothes, bedpan, plates, etc. You will get high elevation of mind and intense inspiration. Acts of this kind will help you in developing all divine qualities such as kindness, mercy, and love, and will eradicate ghrina or disgust and jealousy, and will transmute you to the status of divinity. When you walk along the road or street, keep always some coins in your pocket and distribute them to the poor. Do not higgle with the porters on the railway platform. Be liberal. Every one of you should possess some elementary knowledge of the diseases and their treatment, first aid to the injured and the sick, bandaging, etc. This knowledge will be of great help to you. If you are endowed with such a knowledge, you can help yourself and then the suffering humanity at large to some extent. This will help you in emergencies before you are able to get hold of a doctor. May the Lord instill in your heart a burning desire to relieve human sufferings and to do selfless service to humanity. 9. Power of suggestion. Never give wrong suggestion which will have destructive results to anybody. You will be doing a great harm to him. Think well before you speak. Teachers and doctors should have a thorough knowledge of the science of suggestion and autosuggestion. They can educate and elevate the students in an efficient manner. Parents should infuse courage in the minds of their children. They should say, "Here is a lion. See the lion in the picture. Roar like a lion. Be courageous. See the picture of Shivaji, Arjuna, or Clive. Become chivalrous." In the West, teachers show the picture of battlefields to children and say, "Look here, James. See the picture of Napoleon. Look at his chivalry. Won't you like to become a commander-in-chief of the army?" They infuse courage into the minds of children from their very childhood. When they grow, their samskaras get strengthened by additional external stimuli. Doctors should have a knowledge of the science of suggestion. Sincere, sympathetic doctors are very rare. Doctors who have no knowledge of suggestion do more harm than good. They kill their patients sometimes by unnecessarily frightening them. If there is a little cough of an ordinary nature, the doctor says, "Now, my friend, you have got TB. You must go to Bhavali or Kasauli or Madanapalli." The poor patient is frightened. The doctor ought to have told him, "Oh, it is nothing. It is a simple cold. You will be all right by tomorrow. Take this medicine." Mere kind and encouraging words from the mouth of a doctor are a great blessing. They infuse new strength, new vigor, and new vitality in the distressed patient. The patient is pulled around by the strength of these sweet words even without medicine. A doctor may object, Swamiji, I cannot get any practice if I say like this. I will have to close my dispensary and clinic. You are wrong in your statement. I cannot subscribe to this. My answer is, if the doctor behaves in the above manner, he will have a roaring practice. He will be the foremost and the best doctor in the city. People will flock in thousands to a kind, sympathetic doctor. They will place their very lives and sacrifice everything unto him. He will amass enormous wealth. They will pay him amply, willingly, with pure feeling of love from the bottom of their hearts. O doctors, practice this method and see whether you get money or not. We all live in a world of suggestions. Our character is daily modified unconsciously by association with others. We unconsciously imitate the actions of those whom we admire. We daily absorb the suggestions of those with whom we come in daily contact. A man of weak mind yields to the suggestions of a man of strong mind. The servant is always under the influence of the suggestions of his master. The wife is under the influence of the suggestions of her husband. The patient is under the influence of the suggestions of the doctor. The student is under the influence of the teacher. Custom is nothing but the product of suggestion. The dress that you put on, the manners, the behavior, and even the food that you eat are all the outcome of suggestions only. The man who knows the science of suggestion will be very successful in life. 10. Advice to students. 1. Get up at 4 a.m. Never sleep at sunrise. Study your class lessons thoroughly every day. 2. Be regular in diet, games, and physical exercises. 3. Serve and respect your teachers, parents, and elders. 4. Love your equals and inferiors as also your servants. 5. Never quarrel with co-students. 6. Talk little, speak politely, gently, sweetly, and lovingly. 7. Preserve semen, vital fluid, very carefully. Never waste even a drop of this precious energy through any unnatural means. 8. Through brahmacharya or celibacy, you can conquer the whole world. 9. A true brahmachari attains success in all undertakings. 10. Serve the sick at home as well as in your neighborhood. 11. Be obliging to one and all. 12. Develop good character, memory, and health with great care. 13. Pray to God daily for 15 minutes as soon as you get up from bed and before you go to bed. 14. Develop concentration and deep thinking. 15. Do at least one act of selfless service every day. 16. Never neglect the study of Sanskrit. 17. Study by heart one sublime verse from the Bhagavad Gita every day. 18. Never attend cinemas. 19. Give up smoking and other bad habits. 20. Never waste your time. Be always busy. Avoid useless company. If you put into practice the above instructions, I assure you an excellent career and grand success in your life. You will become a dynamic personality. 11. Daily diary for students. Maintain a daily diary in the following lines. It will help you greatly in your progress and quick success in life. This will remind you every day of what you have to do. It will put you in the right path. It will be your guide and teacher. 1. When did you get up? 2. How long did you pray to God? 3. Have you got any arrears of your class lessons? 4. Were you disobedient to your parents and teachers today? 5. How many hours did you spend in idle talk and useless company? 6. What evil habit are you trying to eradicate? 7. What virtue are you developing? 8. How many times did you get angry? 9. Are you punctual in your class? 10. What selfless service did you render today? 11. Did you smoke? Did you attend cinema today? 12. Were you regular in games and physical exercises and how many minutes or hours you spent for it. 13. Did you do any action which your conscience did not permit? 14. Did you injure anyone in thought, word, or deed? Against each item, enter your answers and remarks every day. At the end of 1 year, you will find a great change in you. You will become a changed being. Be regular in the maintenance of the diary. Chalk out a daily routine and allot sufficient time for prayers, physical exercises, study of religious books, selfless public service through philanthropic institutions, or by giving free tuition to poor students. Stick to your routine. You will find marvelous improvement by maintaining a daily routine and spiritual diary.